Welcome to another episode of Tar Heel Talks. Today I am joined by Gio Montesdeoca of Carolina Men's Soccer. Welcome, Gio.
Thanks for having me, Natalie.
Looking at the regular season in review, what are some big takeaways from the fall?
The big takeaway is obviously getting COVID testing 3 times a week was a interesting thing thrown our way. But overall, as a team, I think we grew each game, and we learned more about ourselves each game. And I think just this team showed a lot of grit, a lot of fight for each other, and I think that's going to lead us to postseason now.
How do you feel like the season changed with only ACC opponents on the schedule for the regular season?
Obviously, not playing non-conference games is a little different towards the season, but obviously the ACC is probably one of the best conferences in the nation, or is the best, and playing this type of games and this type of level, I think it's improved our games. It's improved the team throughout the games, and obviously we've grown, and I think the ACC competition is great, and I think, it was one of the best things that could have happened to us as well.
What would you say really sets this year's team apart, and what can fans expect from this team?
I would think one thing that sets us apart is just our togetherness. We're honestly wanting to fight for each other. And previous teams, we've seen it, but I think more this year we've grown a lot through a lot of Zoom calls and personal development and mindset. And I think our mindset is very strong as a group, and we just work for each other. And I think that's gonna lead us to postseason and next season as well.
And what has the transition been like for you personally? I know you tore your ACL and were out for the entire 2019 season, but you came back and now you're a big contributor for this 2020 squad. So walk me through that transition to coming back from injury.
Yes, obviously the injury happened right before our first preseason game last year. It was honestly a difficult moment, but I honestly took it as a blessing. Most people will see it as a loss, but I took it as a gain, and I was able to learn a lot about myself and learn a lot about leadership off the field and how I can help the team, not just being on the field, but just doing things off the field and leading by example in that way. And I think through this whole journey and through COVID, it pushed back a lot of things for me, but through our medical staff and coaches, I was able to grow, and they helped me grow through this time, and I'm very thankful for it, and I'm just happy to be back and contribute to the team the best way I can, and yeah, I'm just grateful for this.
Looking ahead to the ACC tournament, what is the expectation for this team?
Obviously, the expectation is always to win. That's our mindset, and we go out and try to win every game we can, and hopefully the game against Notre Dame, is going to be a tough one, and each game is going to be tough. But honestly, if we continue working on the things that we've been training in practice and continue to stay together and continue to believe that we can achieve the championship, then I believe the great things are ahead of us.
Lastly, you mentioned it, that quarterfinal game against Notre Dame. What are going to be some keys to that game for your side?
I believe the keys are just the things that we've continued working on, just getting to our spots and doing our job the best we can, and obviously staying together, competing and outworking the opponent in every aspect of the game, and just continue to stay together and fight for each other. I think that's going to be big, and we've shown that in previous games. But as we continue growing, just learn how to just continue to do our job well and excel in that part, and I think we're going to be able to punish Notre Dame.
Thank you so much for joining me, Gio. Best of luck in the ACC tournament.
Thank you, and thanks for having me.